lie ahead, we also reflect today on the journey of two people who somehow met through the fog, have shared countless laughs, forged precious memories, learning from each other and growing wiser along the way. Late night discussions of hopes and dreams and fears about the future, but always bringing out the best in each other. And always rooting for each other along the way. And then one day, somebody perfect and wonderful like Aleka comes along, and things are never the same with Brad and me again. All kidding aside, we have been best friends for a long time. Shirt off your back, every last dollar, no questions asked. Unconditional friends, and there's only one thing we always said we'd ask from each other, and if you ever get married one day, please don't ask me to get up in front of 250 people. I wasn't sure, and now I'm going to have to get married just to... When you're as good of friends as Brad and I were growing up, oftentimes you get referred to in the same sentence, like George and Brad, Brad and George, Dumb and Dumber, Mr. Bacon, Beavis and Butthead, David Tread, and the Hobbits, and I still don't know what the Hobbits are. And Grumpy Old Man, yeah, the Grumpy Old Man from the movie. And that's funny until you get almost 40, and then you're like, okay, that's time to get married. Along the same way, you can always tell how much a guy is liked by his friends by the number of nicknames that they have for him. And Brad must be very liked because he's accumulated a number of nicknames over the years. And, most recently, affectionately, he's been referred to as Brad Tater, or Tater, which is short for Tater Tot. And that's because before he met Aleka, his state not because he looks like a potato. It's because before he met Aleka, the staples of his diet consisted primarily of burgers, chicken fingers, and tater tots. He really thought that gourmet, he's like, oh, come over, we're eating healthy. He thought that gourmet meant adding an extra packet of spice to the turkey taco sandwich. I'm serious. And he thought that eating healthy meant cutting back to one donut a day. More recently, Tater has become... Tater refers to it's short for couch potato, because when he's not working 12 or 14-hour days, it seems like the only place he wants to be is spending quality time with Aleka and their new baby boy, Dave Baker, on the couch. And I know Dave is not a person, Dave is a dog. Don't tell Brad that. Other notable nicknames have included Bud. You know, Bud was more popular in high school, and that's short for Bud Bundy from Married with Children. He's earned that nickname by their striking resemblance in stature and hairstyle. Schwimmer was from Schwimmer stuck for a while. I think David Schwimmer from Friends, and that was really popular when we were in high school. That's because of his style or mannerisms, and when he would talk to girls in high school, he just got to be called Schwimmer, and because of his sensitive side. Or in other words, he can be such a wussy sometimes. Beaker is good. Brad Beaker. Beaker from the Muppets. Long skinny face, no chin. You guessed it. Flounder. Mike, you'll have to ask, Flounder's pretty self-evident, but you'll have to ask Mike about the details. I don't know what flounder means exactly, but, and Gomer Pyle, not funny, but Gomer Pyle. All right, back to Aleka. We love her not because of your sensibility with food, which is dear to me, but you know, well, beyond that, we really enjoy drinking and eating with you and talking about food and but not only that, but we do respect and love how you can be such a hardworking PA, so smart for 10 hours a day, and come home and somehow still be one of the most laid back, cool, and easy to be around women that I've ever met, and to me that means a lot, especially moving forward. So it's awesome having you, and I'm glad it's a great choice. Yes, so but not only that, but your sense of style. I don't know much about style, but I know you got it. And and lastly, your sense of humor. I remember Brad. If you've never heard Aleka's impersonation of a male Indian surgeon, get a couple of drinks in her and she'll start tonight. Tonight. So indeed, Brad, you are a lucky man tonight. And Aleka, with the exception of Brad's height and his sweating problem, you two are very lucky. Brad knows I'm just kidding. I've said this. I've said this on every letter of recommendation to every judge and every probation officer he's ever had. He is one of the finest human beings I've ever. I mean, he is the best person that I've ever known. I've learned that, in thinking about it over the past couple of days, you realize how difficult it is to put for, somebody going on 40 to put into words, in front of 250 people, what another man almost 40 means to you. So it's not an easy. 35. It's a difficult thing to do, and the phrase kept coming back in my mind that most people come in our lives and quickly go. And other people, a few people come and leave an impression that makes you, changes you for the better. And I have a couple people like that in my life, and Brad's one of them. I mean, he really has meant a lot to me, and I feel very fortunate when coming through life and growing up to have somebody who really knows your head and understands your heart and soul, so to speak. That's it's kind of a rare thing, and I think to be able to have had that and be able to give that back, I think that's one of the greatest sources of happiness and fulfillment that people can have in their lives. to have a real friend like that. So I feel very fortunate for that. And that's the best I can do in front of 250 people. Woo!
Nice job, George.
Along those same lines, still, if you really, how are you on time? How are you? That's a little long, but I just as far as the advice part of the speech goes, I don't know who thought it would be a good idea to take two perfectly happy, healthy people and subject them to the advice of somebody who loses their phone in Vegas and their phone and their cell phone and their flip-flops and can barely, organize their life enough to get a haircut for the wedding. But there's a saying that goes, I've learned the most from the mistakes my friends have made after taking the advice that I've given them. And I think if you ask Brad, he'd say that's true. So. Shortly after he met Aleka, he said, George, you've taught me everything I know about women. No, maybe he said, you taught me everything you know about women. But and he said, it's damn near caused me to end up with a life of solitude. Right? So when he met Aleka, he said, thanks, but I'll take it from here. So, and that's true. He said, the advice thing hasn't been working out. I'll take it from here. So I don't know about advice, but I know that it takes two good people to make a good marriage, and two people not necessarily gazing in each other's eyes for all of time, but looking forward in the same direction with the same set of values, wanting the same things out of life. And if you can see the way these guys eat together and go to church together, I think, and if they're anything like their parents, Mr. and Mrs. Baker are the only happily married couple I know. I'm sorry, the most happily married couple I know. The most happily married couple I know. And if you guys know, I'm going to tell them, they met in a bar. Joe wanted me to tell you guys. so if they can do it, we'll get, these guys are way out of their hours. Joe told me to say it.
Yes, baby, yes.
So in finishing, to health and wealth and happiness, but mostly to health and healthy children. We hope you have healthy children. I really do.